Now, I will just let you know before we dive fully into today's episode that the brand new, all new free weight loss course is days away now. It's days away. I have just finished creating this morning, actually, the cheat sheet that goes with it. And oh my God, I'm just going to say you will be able to get everything you've ever hoped for in your life when it comes to losing weight, healing and restoring your relationship with food just from this free course alone. It's so fucking good. So I think we are literally, it's going to happen this week. I think I'm just going to put it out to the universe. Where are we? It's Thursday in my little corner of the world. So I'm going to say this will be happening next week. It's launching. If you haven't yet, skipped on over to kyliepax.com/free course. The link is below in the description box. Then you need to do it immediately so that you can be the first one to get your little mitts on it. Now, when we talk about stressful situations in our lives, first of all, we all have them. Second of all, you can't avoid them. Even if you don't have one right now, you can't avoid it. I've said this multiple times, but I will just throw it out there again. I say in quotation, like air quotes, we don't know who the fuck they are, but we let them run our lives. We don't know who they are, but they run our lives. They have done a study that has apparently found out that our life is a 50-50 split between happy times and sad times. So supposedly at the end of your lifetime, if you were to weigh things up, then they say that you would have experienced about 50% of your life in happiness, joy, fantastic events and feelings, and the other 50% not so good. Not. Now, I personally think that's they can say what they like. That's bullshit. That's just bullshit for me. I don't accept that. For me, I'm going for, at worst, an 80-20 split. I want 80% happiness and joy and excitement and gratitude, and 20%, I'm sure there are things that you can't, avoid, and there's going to be sadness and upset. But I know that we govern our minds, pretty much all the time. Therefore, I have the choice. Of how I want to feel, react, and respond to everything that's going on around me. Case in point, with the individual that I mentioned earlier, that particular individual does seem to take great delight in causing upset for other people. I cannot control that person. And I wouldn't want to. And I wouldn't want to. If they want to do what they want to do and that brings them happiness in their life, go your hardest, baby. You do you. But I'm going to be over here not letting it upset, distract, or redirect my focus in any way from the things that I'm determined to experience and achieve in my life. No fucking way in hell. It's now becoming, and I've worked really hard on it, it's now becoming like water off a duck's back to me. I hear it, I see it, I think, what the fuck now? And I let it roll right off of me because I am so focused and so excited and so pumped about where I'm going in my life. And let me just tell you, it's not like I'm going somewhere special. I'm not going to go meet Oprah tomorrow. Nothing amazing is happening in my life, but I get myself worked up and excited and looking forward to the things that are coming for me because I want to have an enjoyable life. I don't want to go just through the motions of clock in, clock out, eat your dinner, go to bed. Fucking rinse and repeat. What the fuck is that? What kind of a life is that? And I say that with such passion, even though, let me insert here, if you're watching on YouTube, you wouldn't know because my fucking face can't move. Side note. What was I saying? I say this with such passion because I spent 90% of the life that I have lived already exactly like that, honey. Exactly like that. I just fucking clocked in, did the bare minimum, clocked the fuck out, waited for the weekend, spent my money. I didn't have direction. I didn't care for direction, didn't even really know what it was. I really truly thought, you're going to think I'm just such a delusional bitch now. I truly thought something great was just going to befall me because it just should. Some Prince Charming was going to come and marry me and he would have all the money and I wouldn't have to work hard. Or I would just amazingly, just magically win the lotto and everything would be fantastic and I wouldn't have to work hard. Well, it took me way too fucking long to realize that's not a thing. In fact, anything that you want and want to enjoy in your life, you generally have to work hard for. Now I'm down for the hard work. I'm like, bring it on, bitch, because bitch, who's the bitch? Life. I'm like, bring it on, because I want the experience of growth. I now really fully get it. Please, it took me 50 fucking years to work this shit out. I really get it now that I'm not going to really fully enjoy the win if I haven't exerted any energy or effort or growth or done something for it. Case in point would be going to the gym. Like if you fucking woke up tomorrow and your body just looked magical and exactly how you want it to look, and I'm just gonna say, listen, if that fucking happened to me, I wouldn't be sad about it. Like I wouldn't just go, oh, please take it away now because I want to work for it. No. I'd be delirious. I'd be strutting down the street naked, like, check my body out. Like I'm all that. And also, you wouldn't know how to keep or maintain what you had magically got because you wouldn't know what on earth you did to get there. It's so important. The journey is so important because it's where you figure out how the fuck you're going to maintain and keep this incredible thing that you're getting. So when we talk about stress eating, please, I digress. But when we talk about stress eating, we've all got 1,000 examples. And I was the queen of stress eating. I spent most of my life stress eating. The biggest and clearest example that I have was when I was in the midst of my divorce. I had at that time just sort of come off the back of one of the worst and last diets that I did where I didn't eat for 40 days. I speak about this frequently, but I have never done an entire podcast on it. And I really think I might do that next week because I want you to understand the journey and what I went through and why I did such a stupid thing. Let's just preface this. It was stupid. I didn't eat for 40 days. I did see a GP. I did see the doctor prior to starting the stupid thing and told them what I wanted to do. She also told me I was stupid, but I said, I understand, but I want you to monitor me while I do it. So I will do a full podcast on exactly what happened there and how that came about and why it all happened. But I had come off the back of this ridiculous juice fast that I did. And I did it for 40 days and I'd lost a ton of weight. And after that, my husband at the time said he was going through his own issues. This wasn't not entirely because of my weight, but he was going through his own issues. And, part of that meant he said, I don't love you anymore. I don't know if I even love you anymore. He never said, I don't love you. That's why if he did, that's fine. But he never did. He didn't know. He goes, I don't know how I feel. And he was going through his own depressive state and whatever. And he was just in an emotional turmoil. And he was like, I don't know what's going on. And so that's fine. Listen, that's fine, honey. You don't need to know. But if you don't know, I certainly deserve someone who fucking does. So that was the beginning of the end. And what happened in that time period was that we were stuck living together for 12 months whilst the division of assets and selling of properties and so on went on. We were fucking stuck living under the same roof for 12 months. He slept on the couch. I slept in the bed because, fuck that. I wasn't going to be going to the couch. I slept in the bed. He slept on the couch. And it was not a pleasant experience. It wasn't like we were just, give each other a little hug every morning and go, it'll be all right, we'll get through this. No, we pretty much hated each other's guts during that period of time. He was living his own life. He was very active and into the gym at that point. He was doing his midlife crisis, basically. He was going through a midlife crisis. And he probably wouldn't admit that if you asked him. But he was going to the gym. He lost a ton of weight. He got really buff. I'll say it, he looked amazing. He looked fucking the best he'd ever looked. The guy looked incredible. And he was out with all the girls and doing all the nasty things. And here was I at home. So he would come and fucking go as he pleased. And I just feel I have to insert this here. We love each other dearly and are best friends now. Now we see each other all the time. Now we talk. Now everything is fantastic. This is 10 years or something. I don't know, 8 years or something. It's been a while. But back then, not so much fun. Definitely not friends. It was hideous. And every single time he walked into the room that I was in, I literally felt so much stress and so much pressure. I jumped off of the couch or this chair or wherever I was and run, don't walk. I ran to the pantry and started stuffing any food in my face. I was going to say any shit. any food in my face that I could, because I just couldn't feel the emotions and the stress and the panic and the everything of just having him in my atmosphere. Like, it was just too much. So when we are talking like this about highly stressful and volatile situations, I personally, in my experience, feel that death and divorce rank as the top two. If you have another stressful situation, by all means, finances for sure fucking comes right up there. They would be the three. Death, divorce, and finances would be my absolute top three. If something's going to tip you over the edge and make you like fall into an eating frenzy, it's going to be one of those three things. So what I've come up with as a result of this, see, and this is what I mean. When I talk about, is there something that could be potentially positive that you could get out of this, that could be beneficial for you? There's always a silver lining. And here's what I'm going to give you. I have come up with this 3-step system because, as I said, previously in years gone by, I would have stuffed my face over this sort of thing. But I'm just so focused and determined now not to dishonor myself in that way. And also fully aware now that eating is not going to resolve the situation. Me putting food in my mouth is not going to change what somebody else does or doesn't do. You putting food in your mouth is not going to change the boss that is a dick. You putting food in your mouth is not going to change the bad relationship. You putting food in your mouth is not going to change the child that's being a brat. None of those external factors can change by you doing an internal activity. So step number 1, therefore, is for you to pinpoint the thoughts. I'm going to tell you now, everything today starts with a P because I'm very into that sort of thing. Matchy, darling. It's all matchy. Step number 1 is to pinpoint the fucking thoughts that are tipping you over the edge. You need to weasel around up there and find out what is the root thought. And I use that term purposely. What is the root thought that is keeping this story going in your mind? Because, as I say, I can find myself waking up in the middle of the night and thinking about this person. I find myself putting on makeup, thinking about the person, having the shower, thinking about the person, driving along, thinking about the person, having a fucking conversation with somebody else, still thinking about the damn person. There is a root thought underneath all of it. Your job is to weasel around inside your little brain and figure out what is the root thought that is keeping this story playing in my mind. Because let me tell you something right now. We have we have around about 60,000 thoughts a day, every day, all day, every day, 60,000 thoughts. Here's where it gets good. 80% of those 60,000 thoughts are negative, and 95% of those negative thoughts we repeat over and over and over. Do you see how this works? It's almost like some weird sort of scam. Your brain is going to, because this is how it's wired, it's going to repeat the same negative shit. And it's not going to change the story unless you interject and change it. So step number 1 is to weasel around in there and identify what is the root thought that is causing this story to generate. And it could be something along the lines of, this is unfair. I shouldn't be treated this way. This shouldn't be happening. What else? It can be things like, okay, so that's very internal focus, like that's poor me. Then there's the external focus where you don't want to look at yourself or examine yourself. So now you're just pointing fingers at the other person. They shouldn't. I wish they didn't. What is wrong with them? They're so crazy, like blah, blah, blah. All of those things we start thinking so that we are just pointing fingers elsewhere, but we never also in that case don't have to look at anything that's going on with us. Your job is to pinpoint the root thought. And it's usually coming from one particular root. And then the second step is to take a fucking pause. The second step is to press the pause button and take a step back. You might want to grab a pen and paper and journal at that point. You might want to write down your feelings at that point. You might want to do the whole thing they suggest online. Sometimes write the letter and then rip it up, or write the letter to this person and burn it. I'm like, if I write a fucking letter, I'm going to shove it in their face. I'm best off not writing a letter. But you want to be able to pause. If that even looks like no writing at all, that might look like, and this I am a fan of, you put your hand on your heart and you take 3 deep breaths. That's all it takes. 3 deep breaths in and out to completely reset your nervous system. It doesn't take 15 minutes of you fucking meditation or some shit. It only takes 3 deep breaths. And if you can put your hand on your heart sort of center, it just helps channel the energy in that direction. I'm not even that much of a woo-woo person, but I do find this to be true and helpful. So once you have identified the root thought, and then you've taken that pause to just reset yourself and calm the fuck down, the third step is to pivot. What new thought or action can you take now? Because as I say to you, honey, please, what would you say? 60,000 thoughts a day, 80% of them are negative, and 95% of those negative thoughts are on repeat in your mind. If you don't purposely change the story, it's not going to change on its own. So either you voluntarily plant a new story in there, or get ready and just live with whatever story just keeps popping up on that 95% negative repeating situation as a result of your neglect to take action. I know this sort of sounds a little bit stern perhaps today. I promise you, I'm hoping that you can hear on the podcast that I'm certainly not by any means trying to tell people off. If you're watching me on YouTube, you probably would think that because my face can't move. But I will wrap it up and say that you can either choose to live, because it is a choice. You can choose to live circumstantially, or you can choose to live intentionally, but you can't have both. What I mean by that is you can either choose to live by reacting to whatever circumstances are going on at the time. Oh, they did this and they said that and I fucking hate that person and this and that over there. Like it's just reacting to all the shit and the circumstances that's going on around you. Or you can live with intention and focus and aligned with your personal values and decisions. When you choose to live that way, then I promise you, whatever is going on around you, be it a person, an individual, or a circumstance that's completely out of your control, you will live a life where you don't get as upset, because it doesn't matter anymore what decisions other people are making, the things that other people are doing, the things other people are saying. They suddenly become less important because you are so focused on your goals, your decisions, where it is you want to go in your life with your food, your body, your weight, your relationship with food. Everything else is literally white noise to you. This is a place that I'm still working towards getting there, but I feel a lot fucking closer than I ever have been before. And I truly, truly believe that I have this particular individual to thank for that. So as I say to you, I have this situation and there's this person and I can't control them and all the stuff, the crazy that keeps going on. If I look at it, and I pause and I think, what is the root thought and what can I take out of this? I would probably, at this point, have to be very grateful, because it's given me an opportunity to step up, get even clearer on my goals, block out the white noise and anything that doesn't align with where I want to go in my life and what I want to achieve for myself. And I just keep moving forward. I loved if you found today helpful or even mildly entertaining, please go ahead and share, like, love, and share on social. Please remember to tag me as you do so that I can share your stories. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. Thank you for spending another week with me. And of course, head on over, you know what I'm going to say, kyliepax.com/free course, honey. Share it with a friend. Share it with your bestie, kyliepax.com/free course. Be the first to know when the course comes out next week, and you can start losing weight right now within the hour. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. I will see you all again next week. Until then, my gorgeous ones, bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com/free course and sign up for my free weight loss training so you can start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources in my past podcasts that will help you lose your weight without the BS diet drama. I'll see you next week.